Now, getting a medical diagnosis can be overwhelming, and there's often a lot of information delivered at once. So for some people, the challenges are compounded by a language barrier. So let's talk about this with Andy Panos, the president of U.S. Telehealth at UpHealth, and Guadalupe Alvarado, a medical interpreter. Well, thanks for both of you for joining us. And Andy, let's start with you. Tell us what happened to your family and how it sparked a way to help thousands of others across the country.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. And, here at UpHealth, it really is our priority to provide greater access to quality health care for everyone, especially our underserved populations. And that starts with language. My brother was traveling through Mexico and was injured. And so we faced firsthand a language barrier. Our inability to speak Spanish and the providers not being able to speak English created that disparity, if you will. And it was some time after that that we decided that we needed to address this because it was happening here in the United States. And we set out to find a way to bridge that gap of communication, and we started the Marty product.
And Andy, what is this service called, and how does it work when you go into a hospital, for instance, and can patients use it when doing remote doctor visits?
Absolutely. So our service is called Marty, and and the great thing about it is that when a patient presents, it's free to them to have the services when they're in the hospital. So present to a hospital, we work very closely with our partners to have great messaging available. So if someone does present, they understand that they have services available so that they can communicate. And our devices within the hospital, 250 different languages, including American Sign Language. Push the button for the language that you need, get an interpreter on there, and have clear communication with your provider. What was amazing during COVID is that there was so much telehealth that took place. And that was one market that forgot English proficient, deaf and hard of hearing people that you can use video. And so we worked very closely with a number of different telehealth companies, including our own, to integrate language services into these telehealth so that people could have that equal access as well.
Oh, wow. Okay. So great story there. And let's continue this great story with Guadalupe. Hey, Guadalupe, give us a play-by-play from your end when you get notified and the reactions you get from the patients and families in need of this medical interpretation.
Yes, thank you. When we receive a call, we like to introduce ourselves to the provider, the patient, the family. We do a brief introduction. We interpret on the first person, so it's a clear flow in the communication. It's a sense of relief on both parties. The provider is able to understand the patient can tell the provider what ails him. The provider is able to help the patient to get better and to recover. And it's something great about the services that at any day, at any time, any situation, they can get an interpreter of any language available at any time.
Okay. And Andy, how would someone know if a hospital offers this service? And if not, is there anything we can do to get the hospital on board?
So the best way of understanding that the services are available is when the patient actually presents to the facility. The hospitals are bound by the Title VI of the Civil Rights Act that these services have to be available. So if you go into a hospital, good chances are that they're available for you. Our services are, you can find us actually on our website at UpHealth Inc., all one word, uphealthinc.com, under service. And we can certainly help get folks started with our service.
Okay. Andy, Guadalupe, thank you so much for being on our show. And of course, you can head to our website, and that's firstcoastliving.net.